and recognition goes to Lower School. Please welcome Lower School Associate Principal, Mr.Rick Rabon, to give us a speech for our retiree, Nancy Lin.
Good afternoon. Today I have the honor of recognizing Nancy Lin, who after 16 years of loyal service to Taipei American School is retiring. As you'll soon learn, Nancy's life has centered on the traditional Taiwanese values of close family, a good schooling, and hard work. Nancy was born and raised here in Taipei. From a very early age, Nancy's father stressed the importance of a good education, which he believed included seeing the world. So following high school graduation, Nancy set sail for Japan, a place that would hold very fond memories for her and began a lifelong interest for all things Japanese. The fact that Nancy didn't speak any Japanese didn't deter her plans. Upon arrival, she enrolled in a language school where she spent a year immersed in Japanese. She must have been a very good student because 1 year later, she was one of 18 students selected to attend the prestigious Tohoku University in Sendai, considered one of the very best in Japan and one of the top 50 universities around the world. Nancy studied pharmacy and graduated 5 years later. Wanting to improve her English, Nancy left to study ESL at the University of Southern Illinois, Carbondale, and later at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. Her roommate was fellow Taiwanese Annette Lu, the former vice president of Taiwan under Chen Shui-bian. Nancy said that their relationship was friendly and centered on making and enjoying good Taiwanese food. At the time, there was never mention of politics. Upon returning to Taiwan, Nancy was introduced through her parents to a young ear, nose, throat doctor. They were soon married, and a series of moves followed them. First, it was to Ohio, where Dr. Lin began his medical studies to further them after study in Taiwan. It was then on to the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg for a 4-year residency. Eventually, the couple returned to Youngstown, Ohio, where Dr. Lin set up his medical practice. Along the way, 2 boys and a girl were born. As if raising children wasn't enough to keep Nancy busy, she also worked part-time as a bookkeeper at a Chinese restaurant during her time in Manitoba and as a substitute teacher of Chinese at a high school in Youngstown. After 22 years in Ohio, aging parents brought Nancy, her husband, and their youngest son, Ray, back to Taipei. Ray would attend and graduate from TAS. As expected, Nancy was not content to stay at home. She applied for work at TAS and was interviewed by the former business manager, Ira Weislow. She was hired to be the school's telephone operator. However, once people learned her science background, she became a technician in the upper school science department. Eventually, Nancy discovered her true calling as a lower school assistant for grade 4, a position that she's held for the past 15 years. Nancy has many fond memories of her colleagues and co-workers whom she's worked with over the years. In particular, she will remember the English classes taught by Peter Hastorf and Patricia Wolf. Nancy often went above and beyond to help teachers with personal tasks that required Mandarin speaking. One memorable time, a teacher overslept and missed an important flight. Nancy was quick to respond and help the teacher. On several occasions, Nancy worked as a Japanese interpreter during parent-teacher conferences. A few years ago, her love for the Japanese people prompted her to join the tsunami relief trip to Japan, organized by a TS Scout group. Her language skills and connection to the local community proved invaluable. Ray Heber, organizer of the trip, said, Nancy played an integral role on this trip. Her many friends showed great generosity and kindness throughout the week. She always had a cheerful demeanor and was a major contributor to what was one of the best off-island trips I have ever organized in all these years. Conscientious and loyal, Nancy always worked to the success of the grade 4 team. Former grade 4 team leader, Jean Kasky, who is the current head of the Early Childhood Center at the American School in Japan, wrote, "Nancy is always professional, supportive, and cooperative. She's committed to her work and to the school." Zach Jones, the current grade 4 team leader, said on behalf of the team, "Beyond her normal duties and responsibilities, Nancy genuinely cares about all the people on the team. If you had a medical crisis or an urgent translation issue, she would always be there to do her best and make sure you were taken care of, like we were all part of a big family." During her time in the lower school, she supervised thousands of students in the cafeteria and on the playground. And while she won't miss the humid, hot, rainy weather that she's endured while watching the kids play, the noise that only a school cafeteria can produce, or the unmistakable rhythm of the photocopier, she will miss the students who will always have a special place in her heart. As her retirement years unfold, you can be guaranteed that Nancy won't be sitting around watching soap operas. She will certainly make time for her family. Her oldest son, Michael, a graphic designer, lives in San Francisco. Her daughter, Jenny, a family doctor, lives in Phoenix, while her youngest, Ray, lives in LA and is in the entertainment business. Her 4 grandchildren, as well as her mother, will now get Nancy's full attention. A lifelong learner and self-professed lover of Japanese culture, Nancy will continue to polish her Japanese, host the Japan study group, and visit the land of the rising sun to attend reunions with college friends. She's also now able to join her Taipei girlfriends for lunch any day of the week, not just on the weekends. And with her husband, Dr. Lin, she hopes to enjoy several casual hikes through the hills of Yangmingshan. As Nancy begins her well-deserved retirement years, we wish her much health and happiness and hope that she'll drop by from time to time for a chat. Take care, Nancy.
Shortly, we will be playing the slideshow for our retirees and departing members. Award recipients and presenters on the stage, please